what resources are out to do different types of home repair services?
So with the Hurricane Harvey, there's the disaster home repair, which is different from regular home repair. So we're focusing on homes that were flooded. So the opportunities for you are for the United Way has the long-term recovery and has funding from that way. The Greater Houston Community Foundation, they have funding as well. And there are many organizations, more than are represented here, because there's others that are different, about 35 that we're working with, but they all do different things. So you've got to, as case managers, you need to know who you're talking to, because there's home repair, just like we talked about with the PREPS program, they had a certain amount of build up to the $20,000 of what they could do, or 17 to 20. And right now there's an opportunity at Red Cross that has it for some immediate help for mold remediation or electrical, very quick getting into your house. Then there's, each one of us has a different skill set. So you really need to know which agency is going to best fit your client. For clients that need a full home repair, there's a certain subset of all of us up here in SBP, and then there's others that will be able to get them into their home safe, sanitary, and secure, but maybe they won't put in the cabinets, maybe they won't finish painting, but still the homeowner would be getting in. Every one of us has the goal of getting your homeowners back into their homes, into a safe, sanitary, and secure environment. There's not one of us in this organizational group in the Greater Houston area that has anything less than that as part of our mission.
What is the timing, as somebody's applying for one of your home repair programs, what timeline can they expect, and what should we be communicating to our clients about what to expect in that process?
So, the timing really starts with all of the paperwork that comes that needs to be done for each different agency, and getting good quality paperwork and all the documents that are being requested right up front will expedite the process for that homeowner. The next part of it is the assessment of the home, and then defining the scope. We found that can take some time, especially with our program being a minor home repair program where we have a limited funding. We encounter more than 50% of our homes that definitely need more than we can provide. So getting them to understand that we're not going to fully be able to repair your home, but we are going to get you closer to safe, sanitary, and secure. It takes some real engagement with them to get them to decide on what the scope of is for that home. And the next roadblock that we come to on timing is mold inspections. A lot of homes have had a thorough muck and gut, but some have had partial. They've had most of it torn out, but maybe they haven't torn out those lower cabinets or behind tubs and showers. Going into a home like that, they will not pass a mold inspection test because there might be active growth. So construction will start with going in and going ahead and finishing the demo at the home, doing mold treatment, allowing for drying time, and then calling in a separate mold inspector to come and do the test. They usually do air sample tests, and those can take on average 3 days to get the results back. So we're finding right now there's a gap after tearing the remainder of the water damage materials out of a week and a half to 2 weeks to get the results back from the mold test, and then we begin scheduling again to go back and do repairs. So this can take anywhere, once you're eligible and ready to be assigned to a contractor, from 4 to 8 weeks, depending on what all needs to be done at the home and if there's additional muck and gut that has to be done.
And then for our program, we're a full rebuild, so we're going to take you all the way to completion. It generally, once the paperwork, I think what you're saying, that has been a huge roadblock. The more that you can provide to our organizations, the more thorough that your paperwork and vetting is, the easier it's going to be for us to get your clients approved. Once they're approved, we look at usually about 2 to 3 weeks until construction begins, and then once construction begins, it's usually about 6 to 8 weeks until the project's finished, just for a pretty clear time.
I'd like to mention too, when we talk about this, is the expectation of the homeowner is that we all do, that it's so hard for them to make that step to the case manager, the DCM, and then it's so hard, they think that that's the barrier. You've got to help them understand that without the paperwork being complete, none of us can move forward. So even one piece of paper will slow them down. So when you look at all of our applications, we're real similar on what kind of data we need. Just make sure that it's not okay for them to not do that, because they believe that once they've handled that stack of information over to us, we should start. And then you've heard all of the other steps. So the quicker we get immediate, great paper, great information, the quicker we can then start with a much longer process. Long-term recovery, but Houston Habitat is specific, and then every repair group I've talked to, it's this mold concern that we have. The homeowners really don't understand that keeping that closet or that bathtub or paper or couches in their house is breeding mold. We've been 9 months out. We do not want them not to have a safe environment. So even the ones that have helped themselves and put sheetrock on the wall, this is to me a crisis situation that we are not helping our homeowners get to a safe sanitary condition unless we communicate to them today that they have to get their houses clean. They have to have all of this material that hoards mold out, and if they did not clean it properly, they've got mold behind their sheetrock that they put up. We're going to be required to get it out to remediate it somewhere.
Let's talk about another organization you're likely to connect with, those legal service agencies. How are you all enabling those referrals, and how do you see those going smoothly for clients?
So at Baker Ripley, our case management agencies, our case management group will go ahead and fill out the repair application. And if they're not able to get a clear deed, they are referring them over to legal aid, who right now, my understanding is, has a group of people set to take in just these certain homeowners and help them go ahead and get a clear title. And although our case managers say, you know what, we know that they own this home, why can't we go ahead and get started? And I say, we're going to get to that, but right now, this opportunity where you have legal aid that has the money and the staff available, this is the perfect time to help. Our neighbors out there that have been waiting quite a long time and haven't quite got it settled. So that's what we do currently. We refer them over.
All right. Let's talk about partnerships. Obviously, we all know the importance of collaboration here. Can you talk a little bit about the partnerships you are forming or have formed?
So I work with SBP, Team Rubicon, and Build Aid, and so all of us are collaborating, constantly, referrals, referring to each other, sharing best practices. We've also, with Build Aid, recently started some collaboration with Baker Ripley, specifically with understanding, because we're a complete rebuild organization, so that we can pick up maybe where other organizations have left off to finish repairs for homeowners. And also just talking about piling grants to get homeowners to completion. And so the way that we've been doing that is really just by getting in contact with case managers that are in other organizations, explaining our client situations, sharing information as with the consent of the client, and really just putting heads together to see how we can do that collaboratively and get our client in the best place possible. So we are always looking for that collaboration and for other organizations that might be able to deliver services that we don't, or that might be able to bridge gaps that we have. So, just kind of heads together and working with getting and keeping in contact with people. And also, I think a big part is offering our services always. Like if you have a client that we can help here and we have a client that you can help, making sure that we're kind of giving and taking there.
We have a lot of collaboration in Houston. So it's not like our first rodeo, right? So we did 15 floods together. We've done 16 floods. And as we've experienced Harvey, we had a lot of other groups that have come in. So we have had the opportunity to collaborate with the long-term recovery group with the Harris County. It's the LTRC. If you're not going, you're more than welcome to attend. We have committees for everything on the list that's here today. We are very open and transparent because what we want you to do is to learn best practices and to execute best practices and to help more people. That has been a great partnership. To tie into, we also, there's some of us that are with LISC that are doing a Hurricane Harvey repair collaborative and working that sector as well. You know, the need is great. It's 136,000 homes. We've all got to do better at what we do, but we all have gifts and talents. And I think the resource sharing for us is the only way that we're going to be able to get our homeowners in. As home repair, I look into the mental health group and I look to legal aid to help facilitate getting that homeowner in quicker with any barriers. And I thought it was a great opportunity for you to look at this attachment. And it talks about the organizations that have already been funded. And you can see we're similar, but we're different. So we're either in different areas, we serve different AMIs. And we also are able to be to learn more. One of the partnerships with SVP is they are great teachers. We had a group of 44 government agencies and nonprofits 2 weeks ago learn how to mold remediate with Train the Trainer. So we were out there, they were teaching individuals to go and train other individuals. So talk about building capacity. So I think the one thing about us as award grantees is that we can think to ourselves, what is our best asset, and maybe communicate that to a group like the LTRC or to the Greater Houston Community Foundation group and maximize it. So don't keep it to yourself, but spread the news. Because the way we've gotten to be best practices so that we know you're a full home repair, I'm a full home repair, you do a lot of other repairs, and then we layer. And the only way we do that is by partnerships.
Forward-looking, you know, really what are forward-looking challenges that we want to solve? And I would think about both to address the needs of the affected community from Harvey and also to prepare for the next storm.
So we think about that a lot, all of us in this room. For the short term, I will say we are looking at a need for temporary housing to move individuals out. Many homeowners, as you all know, are living in those homes. We need to get them out of that home to allow us to do the work. I think that's an immediate need. Also to address mold remediation in a quicker time frame. We all talked about mucked and gut for the first quarter of the storm. That was August through November. We need to now talk about mold remediation in the same breath to keep that going. And then and to also talk about flood mitigation, either by the lot or to learn more from advocacy that we can talk about not having some homes flood again, right? I mean, we're here repairing. Our worst nightmare is that we have to do this again next year, right? So it's all forward thinking, and all of us need to be in that group.
Any other thoughts before we open it up?
I think that as far as the case managers, you can go. It goes a long way by starting to set their expectations of what home repair agencies and the county and the city are going to be able to do at their home. We're running into, we have older housing stock, so we're running into homes that have a lot of deferred maintenance. And when they hear home repair, even though it's tied to Hurricane Harvey, it's hard to get homeowners to understand that we're there to fix Harvey damage. And yes, there will be some deferred maintenance that is fixed along the way because, of course, we can't leave a leaky roof on the house and then come repair the sheetrock. But possibly we're not going to be repairing that kitchen sink that has been dripping or some other repair out there. So the case management can really help by setting the expectations of what the type of repairs can be done, and it really is based on Harvey damage.
All right, open it up for questions. Alicia has a mic here. See Keith.
Can I just really quickly, there's one, when you're looking in the home repair packets and it kind of gives an explanation of what each organization does, Just a quick correction, Build Aid works with homeowners up to 175% AMI, not over 100% AMI, which is a big difference. So our top line limit is 175% AMI, and we won't go over that, but we serve everybody under that.